Okay, good morning, students. I hope you people have done the homework sums that were given in the previous class. So, we will discuss here few more sums from exercise 7.2 so that we can complete the exercise and then we will move to the next one. So, here today we will discuss with the first sum that we will discuss is sum number 21, and sum number 21 is we have to find the integral of, it is tan square 2x minus 3. So the function is given tan square 2x minus 3, and we know according to antiderivatives we don't have the integral of tan square, but we know we have the integral of secant square, right? So we know the identity. What is the identity here? That 1 plus tan square x is equals to secant square x. So from this identity we will make the integral in terms of secant square. Why so? Because we know the integral of secant square x is tan x. It is the antiderivative. As the derivative of tan is secant square x, so the integral of secant square will be tan. So here what we will do, we will convert tan square in terms of secant square, and we will get here secant square of 2x minus 3 minus 1. So this will be our new integrand. The angle will not change. Here the angle is 2x minus 3. Same angle we will write down here 2x minus 3. Now if I separate the integral, I am getting here secant square of 2x minus 3 dx minus integral of 1. And if you want, you can do the integration here straightforward. As in differentiation, we know when we differentiate trig function, what happens? The derivative of trig function into derivative of angle comes. But when we integrate, the integral of trig function divided by derivative of the angle comes. Either you apply it straightforward, or if you want, you can make the substitution here. So here if you want, I can write down this integral as such, secant square of 2x minus 3 dx, and the integral of 1 will be x, as we are integrating with respect to x, and plus constant of integration is there. Now here what we will do, we will put the angle 2x minus 3 as y, and when we differentiate here both sides, I will get 2 into dx equals to dy. That means the value of dx will be dy by 2. So our integral capital I, it will become, now we will write down here, it will be secant square y into dy by 2 minus x plus c is already done. So this is our integral. Okay, and we know the integral of secant square, it is tan. So it will be tan y, whole 1 by 2 is constant, we can write down here, minus x plus c, and the value of y in the last step we will substitute. It will be 1 by 2 tan of 2x minus 3 minus x plus c. So if you notice here, as I told you earlier, I can do the integration here straightforward. The integral of secant square is tan divided by derivative of angle. And what is the derivative of angle? That means the derivative of 2x minus 3, it is 2. So here that 2 has come in the denominator. So either you make this substitution or you do it straightforward. It is up to you. You can do it straightforward also, right? So as we have done this sum number 21, similarly you people will do sum number 22. In sum number 22, the function is already secant square, and we know the integral of secant square, that is tan. Angle is there, so when you integrate, divided by derivative of angle will come. So if sum number 21 is clear, you people can do sum number 22. Okay, and now we will move to the next sum, that is sum number 24. And sum number 24 is given like this. The integral is given here 2 cos x minus 3 sin x whole divided by 6 cos x plus 4 sin x dx. Now here I will just give you the hint, because here if you notice, the cos function is there and the derivative of cos minus sin is there. Sine function is there and the derivative of sine cos is present here. It means if I differentiate the functions which are in the denominator, I am getting the functions which are in the numerator. The only thing is the coefficients are varying. So what we will do, if I take 2 common from the denominator, my purpose will be solved. So if I take here 1 by 2 common, we will get here cos x, 2 cos x minus 3 sin x whole divided by 3 cos x plus 2 sin x. Now I think you people will be able to do. The derivative of 2 sin x is 2 cos x. The derivative of 3 cos x is minus 3 sin x. So the function which is in the denominator, this function you will substitute as y, and this function 2 cos x minus 3 sin x into dx, it will become dy. And when we have the integral dy upon y, we know it will be log of y. So you people can complete this sum. It is not that difficult. We will make the substitution of the denominator function. Right, now sum number 25 also, let me give you the hint here. Sum number 25 is 1 upon cos square x into 1 minus tan x whole square dx. So what will you do here? 1 upon cos square x, it will become secant square x, right? And 1 minus tan x. We know the derivative of 1 will be 0. The derivative of tan is secant square x. So if I rewrite this function, I will get here secant square x dx whole divided by, what is there, 1 minus tan x whole square. So if I put this 1 minus tan x as variable y or t, secant square dx will become minus dy because minus sign is there. So derivative of minus tan x will be minus secant square. So you will make the substitution of this as y, and this secant square dx will become minus dy. So again I am leaving sum number 25 for you people. Sum number 26 was given already. Sum number 27 now. In sum number 27, what will you do here? The integral is given root of sin 2x into cos 2x dx. The function is very much clear that which function we are supposed to substitute. So the function which is having power. So this sin 2x we will substitute as variable y or t, and cos 2x dx we will get as the derivative. So what we will do here, we will put sin 2x as y, and when we differentiate both sides, we will get 2 cos 2x dx equals to dy, right? That means the value of cos 2x dx, it will be dy by 2. And when we solve the integral, or we will substitute back, it will be integral root of y into dy, and this 1 by 2 outside I am writing because it is constant. And we know the integral of y raised to power 1 by 2. 1 by 2 will come as such. It will become y raised to power 3 by 2 divided by 3 by 2 plus c. That means we are getting 1 by 3. The y value is sin 2x raised to power 3 by 2 plus constant of integration. So this is how we will do the sum, which is number 27. 28 you people have done. Sum number 29 also. Let us see what you will do in sum number 29. Here we will have, so here what do we have? It is given, integral is given cot x into log of sin x. Now cot x means cos x upon sin x, and log sin x is the other function. So this is our function number 1, this is the function number 2. Now we have to think which function's derivative will be the other one. Now cot x, the derivative will not give you sine, log sine as such, but what do we have if I differentiate log sin x? We know when we differentiate log sin x, let me show you here. If I differentiate log of sin x, what do we get? First of all, log will take the function to the denominator into derivative of the function, that will be cos x, and cos x upon sin x, nothing else but this is cot x only. So what we will do, I think now the substitution is clear. So we will put here log of sin x as y, and when we differentiate both sides, we will get here 1 by sin x into cos x equals to dy by dx, right? That means cot x into dx we will get here as dy. So our integral, what the integral will become now? It will become y, because log of sin y is y, and this whole cot x into dx, it has become now dy. So it will be the integral y square by 2 plus c, that means 1 by 2 into log of sin x whole square plus c. This is how we will do sum number 29. Sum number 30 is also straightforward. Numerator is sin x, denominator is 1 plus cos x, and we know the derivative of 1 plus cos x will be minus sin x. So the denominator function we will substitute. Similarly, sum number 31 you people can do. In sum number 31 also, the integral is given here sin x dx upon 1 plus cos x whole square. Now this 1 plus cos x is having the power also. That means one function is without power, the other one is with power. So which function we will substitute? This one, because we know the derivative of 1 is 0 and the derivative of cos x is minus sin x. So straightforward we will put this 1 plus cos x as y, and when we differentiate we will get minus sin x dx as dy. So what the integral will become? Integral will become here minus dy upon y square. And which rule we will apply? The power rule under integration. If we apply, we are getting our answer. That also you people can complete, right? Yes, you people can complete this sum number 31. Sum number 32 is there. Sum number 32, we have 1 upon 1 plus cot x. So what we will do here, it will become exactly that sum as we have done sum number 30. Let me show you how it is becoming. Sum number 32, integral is given here 1 upon 1 plus cot x dx. Okay, so what will we do here, right? So we will continue with sum number 32 here. And in sum number 32, what do we have here? In the denominator cot x. And if we substitute the value of cot x, I will get here 1 upon 1 plus cos x upon sin x dx. Why we are doing this thing? Because cot x is there. I don't have any derivative of cot x in the numerator. So we will not make any direct substitution here. But first of all, let us simplify the function. And when we take the LCM, we are getting sin x upon sin x plus cos x dx. Now, what we are getting here? In the denominator, sin x plus cos x they are there. But in the numerator, only sin is there. So what we will do here, I will multiply and divide the integral by 2. 2 sin x, and outside 2 if I write down, it will not make any difference to our integral. And this 2 sin x means what I can do, I can write it as sin x plus sin x, right? 2 times sin x means I have separated. I am writing sin x plus sin x, divided by we have sin x plus cos x dx. Now in the denominator it is sin x plus cos x. In the numerator I have sin and sin only. So if I add and subtract cos here, it will not make any difference. So what I will do, I will write down sin x plus cos x, and with other sin function I will write down sin x minus cos x. So one time sin we are adding, one time cos adding and cos subtracting, which will not make any difference. Why we are doing? We are just making the function so that I can have the relationship like function and its derivative. Now when we separate the terms, what we will get here, sin x plus cos x upon sin x plus cos x. So it will be 1 plus sin x minus cos x upon sin x plus cos x dx, right? We know the integral of 1 will be x. Now sin x minus cos x, and we know the derivative of cos is minus sin x and the derivative of sin is plus cos x. So here if I take minus sin common, my purpose will be solved. So what we will do, this is 1 by 2 already, and here we will write down x, and here I am taking minus sin common, and I will get here cos x minus sin x upon sin x plus cos x dx. I think you will get the point, clear picture now. Derivative of sin is plus cos, derivative of cos is minus sin. So finally when I make the substitution, this we will put as y and this function will become dy, and here I will get integral of 1 upon y dy, that will be log. So I will get here log of sin x plus cos x plus constant of integration will be our answer. This step I am marking because here you people have to make the substitution and then the answer is coming. I have written the answer straightforward because it will be derivative upon function, right? Once this exercise is done and when we are moving to learn the other techniques, we can use this technique straightforward also in the higher order sums. Okay, so this is your sum number 32. Similarly, you people will do sum number 33. In sum number 33, instead of this cot x function, we have tan x function. And tan, when we write down in terms of sin and cos, so we will get here cos x upon cos x minus sin x. Same thing we will do in sum number 32 and you will be able to get the answer. Sum number 34 we will discuss now, and afterwards one more sum we will discuss, and you will be completing your exercise. Okay, so let us discuss here sum number the next sum is sum number 34, and the statement is given like this. It is I is equals to integral of root of tan x divided by sin x cos x. Now here if you observe this function integrand, in the numerator we have tan and we know the derivative of tan is secant square x, but in the denominator or in the numerator nowhere we have that. Now the next thing, sin x and cos x, the derivative of sin is cos, the derivative of cos is minus sin, but both the functions are in denominator, so I can't put here sin x also as t or cos x also as t. So what we will do here, but if we do here one thing, if I make from this sin and cos, these two functions, from these two, if I make tan function and secant square, then our purpose will be solved. How will we do that? If I, in the denominator, if I multiply and divide by cos, right? Multiply, that means this cos x will become cos square x, and when I divide, sin x upon cos x will give me tan x also. So I am writing here multiply and divide the denominator by cos x, right? And when we do this thing, what will happen? There will be no change in the numerator. It is tan x only divided by. It is this is what we will write down into cos x cos x. I have expanded the function properly. Now this sin x upon cos x, it will give us tan x. So here I am writing tan x. Cos x into cos x, we are getting cos square x dx. So this root tan x upon tan x, that means it will give me tan x power minus 1 by 2. 1 upon cos square. Since cos is in the denominator, so it will become secant square x dx. And we know the derivative of tan is now secant square. So once this function is made and we are not getting here, any formula is not there how to get it, but we have to observe the function, we have to make the relationship between the functions so that it becomes simple. Remember, maths means we are going from the complex part to the simple. We don't make the simple things complex, right? Remember this thing. So what we will do here, we will put tan x as y, which implies secant square x dx we can write as dy. Remember, I am using the symbol it implies. That means one operation has been done, one step I am not writing. And what is that step? Differentiating both sides. So we are getting secant square x dx as dy. So our integral will become y raised to power minus 1 by 2 into dy. And when we integrate, it will become y raised to power 1 by 2 upon 1 by 2 plus c. That means 2 root y plus c. And what is y? Y is actually tan x. So it will become 2 root of tan x plus constant as integration. This is how sum number 30, which sum it is? Sum number 34 will be done. Okay. In sum number 35, it is similar sum we have done in the beginning part of the exercise also. We know 1 plus log x. If I differentiate 1 plus log x, I will get 1 by x, and x is given in the denominator. So we will substitute 1 plus log x as y, and you are getting the derivative straightforward. Now next sum, that is sum number 36. Here what you people will do, you separate the function first of all, and then just observe what will be the relationship between the functions. Let me start the sum for you people so that you can do. It's raining hard here, so I think there will be, people can hear the sound of the rain also. So the integral is given here, x plus 1 x plus log x whole square divided by x dx. Now this x plus log x function, one function is there and the square of that function is there. And what is the other thing? X plus 1 upon x. It means if I write down x plus 1 upon x as this and x plus log x whole square like this, both the integrals are same. Functions are in product, this x is in denominator. Either you write down this x in the denominator of this or this function, it is the same thing. Now one more simplification if I do, separate the terms. X upon x will give you 1 plus 1 by x, and here x plus log x square dx. I think now you people can make the relationship. The derivative of x is 1. The derivative of log x is 1 by x. So if I put this function as y, this is becoming its derivative. So what we will do here, we will put x plus log x as the variable t, and when we differentiate both sides, I will get 1 plus 1 upon x is equals to dt by dx, right? So the integral will become here t square into dt, and that will be t cube by 3 plus c. That means 1 by 3. What is t? T is x plus log x. So here we will get x plus log x cube plus constant of integration. That will be your answer. Sum number 37 also, you people, if you just observe it, you will be able to do. We know the derivative of tan inverse x. What is that? 1 upon 1 plus x square. So instead of x, if I have x raised to power 4, right? Let me give you the hint for sum number 37. If I know the derivative of tan inverse x, it is 1 upon 1 plus x square. If x is there, here I am getting x square. So if I differentiate here tan inverse x raised to power 4, what I will get? Instead of x, I am having x raised to power 4. So it will become 1 upon 1 plus x raised to power 4 square into derivative of x raised to power 4. Because here also into derivative of x is there, and since derivative of x with respect to x is 1, we don't mention that. But otherwise it is always there. So here we are getting 1 upon 1 plus x raised to power 8, which is in the denominator of sum number 37, and the derivative of x raised to power 4 is 4x cube. X cube is also present in the numerator. So if you understand this substitution, you will be able to do sum number 37, right? Sum number 38 and 39 are MCQs. If you integrate by making the correct substitution of the function, you are getting your answer, right? So this is how you people will do the sums, and with this you will be able to complete your exercise 7.2. In the next class we will discuss the next method, and the next method is now we will be using the correct trigo identities to integrate. Now in order to do that, you should be thorough with our trigo formulas: cos 2a formula, sin 2a formula, cos 3a formula, sin 3a formula, and all these. If we know these identities, it will be easy for us to integrate the functions. So this will be the next method to do the integration of trigo functions. Okay, so with this class, your exercise 7.2 you people can complete, and we will do the next topic in next class. Thank you, students.